Choosing someone to spend the rest of your life with is no joke. You don't want to spend your entire life living in misery, regret, or perseverance. I'm Florence K. Ofonya. Welcome to Let's Talk with Sandra A, where we discuss marriage, wifehood, womanhood, transparently and willingly. So ladies, growing up, what kind of a man did you want for a husband?
Yeah, when I saw this question, I got reminded of I think a particular meme that had been running on social media about how some ladies look for qualities of non-living things in the kind of men or particular man that they would actually want. And I was like, but I think when I was single, I really wanted those qualities of non-living things. Now for me,
Okay.
yes, like irrelevant. Like I'm telling you this. So for me, I think the kind of man that I wanted, first of all, had to speak good English, like very good English. Two, the man needed to be tall, dark-skinned, sort of mugged, with the flat tummy, six packs, you know.
American height.
Exactly. Okay, there was the obvious one. I wanted him perhaps to be born again, know God, fear God. But now, you know, behind you know what you know the kind of person you want.
Yeah, that's
so me, I wanted a tall guy who would speak good English, dark skin, cute beards.
Wow.
But ladies and gentlemen, the man I married is not so close to those qualities. But we bless the Lord. Yeah, we bless the Lord for this far we have come.
Oh, wow.
So that's my take.
Yeah, personally, I really wanted also someone taller than me. Not so tall, but at least be taller than I am. And then I wanted someone who is, you know, ever smiling and then not putting on that monkey face and you go,
Oh dear.
because yeah, and then also I wanted someone who is talkative because I talk a lot and I wanted someone to go along with me so we can be talking, you know, sharing laughters and stuff like that. So that was me.
Wow. You don't want to know. Tell us. I wanted someone who had money. Who wants to suffer?
How did I even forget that point? Because I wanted money. Wow.
Me, I wanted the looks were something that would come after. But you have to have money first. Money first before we go to other things. Wow. So I wanted someone who would be having money, who would spoil me, who would take me places.
I know, right?
See you also life.
Wow. See me, see problems.
And looking for them.
I wanted someone who had money. Then secondly, you also know that money and God fearing doesn't work hand in hand. Secondly, I wanted someone who was God fearing, and I needed someone who was good looking. You can't go to the public walking with someone who who would embarrass you. You have to have money to accompany that look of yours.
Like evidence should be there.
So speaking of non-living things existing in human beings, I was also expecting qualities of non-living things in the man I wanted.
Let's hear from our fantasy girl.
Now me who love fantasy. Of course, I wanted this American height, quality number 1. As Sandra said, good English, good looking, have that body. When you're walking a bit like, yes,
That's my man.
that is the man Florence is dating, you know. And I wanted someone with swag, someone, a gentleman, but with swag, and at least have something to brag about, to show the society, even when you're somewhere, like that is for Florence, you know? So for me, that was what I wanted. Now, ladies, that aside, this brings me to the second question. Okay? As far as with all that, our non-living things are living things, what did you consider in choosing the man or the husband that you're with? Or maybe before you even got married, what did you consider?
I'm looking at Sandra.
As
we take notes of the expectations.
Okay, now, like you all know, I'm so firm on my faith. I'm born again Christian. So for me, eventually, I came to the awareness of, but why have all these relationships failed? Why haven't they taken me down the aisle? So then I sought counsel from a man of God, a prophet, who actually just told me off. You know, he was like, you girl, you better lower your expectations.
Wow.
Because if not, I see you staying in your father's house for eternity.
A long time.
So I'm like, what do you mean? He asked me, have you ever created a human being? I'm like, no. So he was like, you know what, Sandra? If you actually want to settle down in marriage, reduce your expectations, lower your standard a little bit. So months down the road, my husband then starts to talk to me. And then he is brown to start with. So I'm like, now brown. It's not close to what I want. You understand? And then now the height that I wanted is totally not what I was seeing. But then now, you see, I think also age also contributed to why I decided. You know,
As you
now
were growing up, your mind started, you know.
Exactly. So there's a way now for me. I and my husband started dating. For me, I was at the slippery road to 30. So you know now when you clock 30, you don't have the liberty to amend certain mistakes. I started by adjusting my expectations.
Lowering them down.
I started lowering my standards. That is one. And then two, like I said, my husband at the time was actually not any of the non-living things features that I wanted in my husband. So at the time he wasn't even born again. At the time, I think the first time I went to visit my husband, there was beer in the fridge. I'm like, what is this? God, what kind of bad luck is this? What have you brought my way? Then, of course, we had conversations. I looked at the things I could negotiate and things I could not joke about. So for me, the things that I wouldn't joke about, one was my faith. I wanted to know if my husband would be in position to agree with my faith, because I don't know how others do it. Like your husband is religion A, then the woman is B. I have never understood that. So me, I knew that didn't work for me. So we had a conversation. He told me, I'm Kawa. I'm okay with joining your faith, but give me time. And then the other thing that I considered was his teachability. My husband has a teachable spirit. So I was like, I think everything is possible. Since he's teachable, he's willing to learn, he's willing to change. Yeah, for me basically, those are the things I considered while choosing my husband.
Wow. Yeah. Well, when I was growing up, I didn't know that there are certain things you can change, like she said, in a person. So when I was choosing my husband, I wanted us to have things that we shared in common. First was my faith. We both came from Anglican homes, so I knew that changing him from another religion to mine was not an issue.
Oh, yes.
So I knew that there we were okay. And then secondly, our ages. They usually say that women should be younger than their husband. I don't know who made that thing up.
It's just the society.
Yeah,
But
but
it's just a
our age gap is not that big. I never wanted someone who was very old or older than me that would not even have things to share. You can be having someone in the house and you don't even have things
that you have in common.
Yeah.
The person will be into something else and you as well into something else. So you just be in the house like strangers. I know COVID taught people to communicate. COVID tortured people. And many marriages ended that way.
Yeah.
So I wanted us to be of the same age gap. And then another thing, I wanted us to, the level of education. I wanted someone who was educated at least, or rather would be having the same, or he's slightly above me. That was it. Because I never wanted to go into the public with someone who, would embarrass me.
Okay. Yeah, to me what informed my decision to now choose the husband I'm with was actually his level of tolerance.
Wow.
My husband is really a tolerant person. And his level of patience with me is top notch.
Now some people with patience.
Because actually when we started dating, I then realized that okay, maybe I really don't need someone who is as talkative as I am, because then it would be fire.
I thought you were not talkative.
But no, I am, and then I'm playful sometimes. So I came to realize that okay, this is the kind of person I need. I need someone who is calm and then willing to listen to me as I speak. And then I remember the tests that I put my husband through, who was the then boyfriend, and then he passed all the tests, and I was like, okay,
That was
yes, yes. No, actually, because our dating period took like about 4 years.
Wow.
But also it was not this kind of serious dating. I was actually the run after kind of girl. So like whenever he could try to come closer me again, I go a step further. But then his level,
He's really
how he endured, and then also the things I used to do to him. Above all, he was so loving. And then the one thing that really struck me during our period of dating was when he told me, it's not about your love that I want, it is the love I have for you. I know with time you will develop love for me, but for now it is my love that matters. So just don't worry about your love.
They're saying that because that love will grow.
It
only happens for women,
not for men.
Of love for you.
True, and I learned that from my husband, because he says, you see, women don't love, women develop love, and you develop love according to how you're being treated. And so the kind of treatment he was giving me, I was like, who am I? Who am I not to love? Yes, so as I speak now, the love is developing, and it has grown. I think it is now around 90%. Of course now you can't,
Wow.
So that is actually what informed my decision to settle in him.
Wow, that's really nice. Now, for me, after all those daydreaming,
Reality check.
I came to the reality point. So what really got to me was this. I needed my husband that I'm married to right now. We started from scratch ourselves. So I didn't really want now this person who has everything, because I don't know how he worked for it. He has the car, he has the building. I don't know how he got that. So my consideration came in that now this man, first of all, he knows God, and my prayer was one thing. I wanted a man who knows God first, and of course that came in after I was done dreaming. So I told God, I need someone who knows you. Because if you get a man who knows God, if you're blessed with such man, trust me, I know there will be pulling rope somewhere, but it is the best thing you can ever have. Yeah. Then I needed a man with a vision. Yes, you have your vision. Like you don't have it yet. But what you tell me that you want to do, are you going to do it? Are you doing it? A man with a vision. So for me it was a man with a vision, someone I would start with somewhere, though he had really nothing, but had the vision that would bring that in, and then a man who knows God. Yes. Wow. Yeah. So this brings me to the next question. What are some of lessons that you learned basing on all this?
Wow. For me, I think about 2 or 3 lessons. One, I learned that for sure it's sometimes very important that as a lady, as a single lady, that you assess your standards, assess your expectations, because sometimes the things we set as standards just lead us to our graves.
By the way.
Now sometimes I sit back and look and I'm like, but what if I had not assessed myself? I think I wouldn't be married as yet. I would still be looking for that particular. So for me, one lesson that I learned were my negotiables and the non-negotiables. I stated them so clearly. I came to terms with both the negotiables and the non-negotiables, and I think I was okay with it. So what do I tell people? Or what have I learned? One, I learned that it's important to know your boundaries, your negotiables and your non-negotiables. Because now for me, at the time I was deciding to get married, like I said, I looked at my faith. I didn't want the drama of I'm going to church A, he's going to church B, then we are pulling ropes all that time. I wanted a man with whom we share the same faith and we go and pray in the same church. So that is one lesson. The second lesson is that I think I learned is that sometimes you will miss out on the good people or on the good person because of those same expectations.
Chasing after the other one.
It's not like I didn't meet good people before my husband, but then I learned because I had the issues of English, height, what. So somehow I'm in that relationship, but I feel now when a man maybe says, I doesn't eat meat, I'm like, excuse me, I doesn't what?
I can did it.
I can did it. So those are things that would actually turn me off. But I'm grateful to God. My husband speaks good English. My husband is loving.
Not like the other one who called manager as Mananga.
Mananga, like what are we doing? So yeah, for me those are the lessons that I learned. Yeah.
Yeah. I also learned that sometimes it is not about looking for what you expect in someone, but it is about getting someone who understands you. Because I have come to really realize that you don't need to get that perfect person, but you can as well work hard to drag that person to the position you want that person to be.
Yeah,
so bring that person from the left to the right, and then as long as he's willing to understand you and then your rules, your boundaries and all that, you're good to go.
True.
Yes.
I've also learned that in the dating world or in the marriage world, it's good to be with someone who is your friend. Yeah. There is a lot that goes in marriage that you need someone to talk to. You need a friend. Sometimes you don't need a husband or a boyfriend.
True.
You need a friend to talk to. You can come back from work and you're very stressed. Your husband will not understand you, but a friend will.
You need a friendly hug, not even a husband hug.
So in the dating world or in the marriage world, honestly, to those ones who are still dating, trust me, you need a friend in your partner. That's it.
Wow, that's really nice. Now for me, what I learned is that we are all like created differently. We all have our weaknesses, we all have our strengths. There is no one who's 100% in this life. So you can't just wake up and you say, I want all these qualities in a man and I want it all. It's not there. It doesn't exist. So ladies, my last question.
Bring it on.
Yes, there is a belief that goes, every girl marries a father in a man. How true is this statement according to you?
Say people, for me when I actually saw this question, I looked at my dad and I looked at my husband. So my dad, I love you so much. I know you're going to watch this show, but be reminded that I love you.
Wow.
So my dad, let me start with the good things about my dad. My dad is generous. We grew up seeing our dad connect people for jobs, paid people in school, being there for people, being there for his siblings.
Wow.
He's super generous, super loving, super kind. and people. Sometimes if I don't regulate my husband, our account can go to zero.
I'm telling
Wow.
you.
My husband is super generous.
Wow.
Even when he goes to visit home, he wants to buy soap, wants to buy sugar, even when he is broke and you see, babe, we are broke. But the generosity is still there. Another thing, my dad is super hardworking. Super hardworking. He's not going to rest until he has achieved whatever he has set his mind to. And that is exactly my husband. So hardworking. He's always after about results. So hardworking. Then the other two, my dad is near to tears.
Oh, emotional.
Yeah. Something can happen and you see his tears rolling, you know. And then you're like, but wait a minute, why is this man crying?
No.
Yeah. So guys, my husband can wake up in the middle of the night and you hear someone sobbing. Then you're all, what did they do? What did they do? What's up? Yeah, what's up? I'm so grateful to God for giving you as my wife. And I'm like,
In the middle of the night.
yes. Then you be like, baby, it's okay. I'm also grateful to God. I'm also grateful. Florence has met my dad. Once you cross my dad's boundaries, he's going to put you in your place.
Yeah. One time he did that to us.
Yes.
We had gone for Hakuchala.
My dad will put you in your place and the man has words. Now you people, my husband.
The next time he meets you, he has even forgotten.
He has
that he's
forgotten.
saying it. So you married your dad.
Yeah, for me, if really that statement does exist, I honestly married my dad.
Wow.
Yeah, I keep seeing him in my husband. Yeah.
No, but I really want, personally I want to disagree with that belief because I feel like not every father is actually exactly who the daughter wants to marry. Because what if you come from a violent family, that your father is always, the violent type, maybe he drinks alcohol, and then every time he comes home, the children have to, run, and then your mother is in problem. So I really wouldn't want to say, every girl now wants to marry who exactly the character of their father, their husband.
That's if
so,
the dad is good.
It should just actually
Both good and bad. Like for me, I just mentioned both good and bad. Yes. So I think this belief so much comes from the Oedipus complex, I think in psychology, where there's close attachment between the dad and the daughter. So usually I feel, at least in a certain way, your husband should have certain similar traits of your dad.
Okay. No, I really
I also
I don't have that.
it.
Wow.
Okay? I don't believe in
These
that.
two are always working together.
You'd not always want the qualities you've seen in a certain person as what you want for yourself. My dad is okay. I would say my husband has half the traits my dad
That is what
has.
we're talking about, yes.
Not most of them. I'm sure not all qualities your father has is what you want in a husband.
Of course, we can't mention those things here. Others, the
I
next
would
time.
agree with it. Okay. But to a smaller extent.
Yeah, okay, just to a smaller extent.
All right. So basically, I look at my husband and I see my mom.
Wow. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I really see my mom. She has a big heart. She's hardworking. She can do anything for anyone. You can do anything to her. She let go. To me, I see my like it's my mom. My dad. Yeah. So ladies, this brings us to the end of the show. First of all, I want to appreciate you all for being here at this show. And to the viewers, we are here at the beautiful Chalet Garden Hotel. Please, next time, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
Drop your comments.
Drop your comments.
Turn on the notification bell.
Exactly.
yes.
For all our videos.
Exactly.
Yes.
So ladies, this brings us to the end and we say ciao.